sense of what's really going on. The US and China trade war is a huge deal, not just for the two countries involved, but for the entire world. It's been making headlines for years, and its impact is felt by consumers and businesses everywhere. From tariffs on imported goods to restrictions on tech giants, the trade war has far-reaching implications. One of the main issues driving the trade war is tariffs. The US has imposed tariffs on over $360 billion worth of Chinese goods, and China has retaliated with tariffs on over $100 billion worth of US goods. The US is trying to reduce its massive trade deficit with China, which was over $500 billion in 2020. The US also accuses China of unfair trade practices, like intellectual property theft. Intellectual property disputes are another major point of contention. The US claims that China steals American ideas and technology, and uses them to boost its own industries. This has led to restrictions on Chinese tech companies, like Huawei, from operating in the US. China's tech ambitions, including its Made in China 2025 plan, have raised concerns in the US about the potential for Chinese dominance in key industries. The trade war has a long history, dating back to the early 2010s. Tensions escalated under the Trump administration, which imposed the first tariffs on Chinese goods in 2018. China responded with tariffs of its own, and the two countries have been locked in a cycle of retaliation ever since. The US has also imposed restrictions on Chinese investments in the US, citing national security concerns. In recent developments, the trade war has shown signs of easing. The US and China have agreed to a Phase 1 trade deal, which includes a reduction in tariffs and increased Chinese purchases of US goods. However, tensions remain, particularly with regards to issues like intellectual property and tech. The ongoing conflict between the US and China has significant implications for the future. The trade war has already disrupted global supply chains and led to economic uncertainty. What happens next will depend on the actions of both countries and their willingness to negotiate. To sum it up, the US and China trade war is a complex and multifaceted issue that affects us all. From tariffs to intellectual property disputes, the two countries are locked in a struggle for economic dominance. The conflict is ongoing, and its outcome will have far-reaching implications for the world. What do you think about the US and China trade war? Share your opinions in the comments below. If you're interested in learning more about global economics and trade, be sure to check out my other videos on related topics.